Leaders Embrace Sick, Part 3. Here we are, middle of the week. In some places, they call this, the pinnacle of the week, and it's all downhill from here. We're just getting started. One of the aspects that we've talked about is thoughts, and that's on day one. We talked about thoughts and how important those thoughts are and what are those thoughts look like, and moved on to the heart yesterday. Really, the heart is, if you're in alignment, the heart is telling the mind, this is what to go after, this is what's important. And then the thoughts are then surrounding itself around what's important. And then you have this decision. That's day 3. This is what we do with those thoughts. Do we just allow them to go away, or do we then put them into action? And what does that action look like? There's a couple different aspects to that. We're going to talk about that today. I would like to start with this particular set of quotes from Don Miller, and it's in John Maxwell's Intentional Living, but it's from A Million Miles in 1,000 Years by Don Miller. Don says, I never walked out of a meaningless movie thinking all movies are meaningless. I only thought the movie I walked out on was meaningless. I wonder then if when people say life is meaningless, what they really mean is their lives are meaningless. I wonder if they've chosen to believe their whole existence is unremarkable and are projecting their dreary lives on the rest of us, are projecting their dreary lives on the rest of us. He then goes on, you can call it God or conscience, or you can dismiss it as that intuitive knowing we all have as human beings, as living storytellers. But there's a knowing I feel that guides me toward better stories, toward being a better character. I believe there's a writer outside ourselves plotting a better story for us, interacting with us even, and whispering a better story into our consciousness. So if I can keep this open. Can we be a better character? Can we really take that step forward and write a story? Today may be that first page in that story, in that book. I know as I look back, there are many places where I've started a new chapter because I didn't like the way the old chapter was reading, so I started a new chapter. And you might be one of the, as you get going, you might have a few words in your chapter and you're starting a new page. Why not start a new page? It's okay. One of the things that we look at when we look in our day is, what have we done? If you try to write it in a journal, you might go at the end of the day and start filling out your journal and saying, okay, this is what I did today. How many times do you add the thoughts in there, though? How many times do you say, well, this is what I did, but this is what I need to recognize in this day? What I did, what I felt. What are the things I learned? The day is the day. What are the thoughts? What are you putting into action? What are you doing to have a greater day? And as we look at today, and as we look at what we are doing with those thoughts, so we are doing those thoughts, we're putting out those thoughts that are aligned with our heart, and we're saying, let's put them into action. Action towards a dream, towards a goal. So we've already got the dream, we've got the goal that we put together in our thoughts. Now it's the action step. It's the taking and creating the story, becoming the part that we're to play in the overall story. Be a living story writer. John Maxwell in the same book, he gives us a challenge. I don't want you to be merely a storyteller of significance. What do you do with your day? What do you do that brings value to people? How do you lift people up? How do you intentionally act? How do you take the thoughts that are burning within you, the desire, the goal, the thing that you want to achieve, and how do you make that happen? And what do you do to make it feel good for you, but more importantly, to touch another life, to lift that person up, to make them feel greater? We don't get it right. We don't get it right every day. And that's why we have to start a new page. We have that opportunity each day to say, well, yesterday didn't go as well as I wanted. Today, I have a chance to start with a smile. I have a chance to tap back into that love, to that passion, to that all-inspiring, all-encompassing, burning desire to make something happen, to make it a better world, to play my part, to take my uniqueness and my joy, to lift another, to provide a nice and comforting word, a comforting story. Some people, we go at our death, not our death, but a loved one's death, and we tell stories. Sometimes we wait until they're dead to tell the story about them. Why is that? Why is it that we wait to tell the story? Why is it that we wait to read the book to say, wow, I had a really great time with that person? We look back at the memories. Perhaps they have a journal, or they had a photo book of their life. Someone puts it together for them as a present. Why do we wait until they're gone to relive the memories? Why not walk alongside them? Why not work with them? Why not live our life as a continuous photo album, and living not in the past, but living in the present? So intentional leaders, people like you need to live in the present. Intentionality, I in thick, is about intentionality. It's not intention. Intention is, well, I'm going to do this. Intentional is about, I'm going to do this now. I'm committed to it. I'm working on it. I'm going to straighten out my collar. I'm going to sit straight and try to figure out why my shoulder keeps falling down. I'm out of alignment, probably. I probably need to go to the chiropractor and straighten out my spine. But it's more than just getting straight and looking and feeling good about yourself. It's about, what are you doing? We're setting up right now to do a retreat that helps people break through that barrier that is preventing them, the shackles on their life that they keep going against, and they keep slamming in and saying, I want to do something, but I want to change my life, but I want to change my direction, but I want to stop thinking these thoughts, but perhaps it is better to, instead of putting the but in, to say yes and to say, I am going to change my life today. Yes, and I'm going to take a step by writing my thoughts down. I'm going to work on reaching out to the person that I meant to reach out to and say, I'm sorry. Yes, and I'm going to stop blaming myself for where I'm at and embrace myself for where I got to, where I'm at, where I'm going to go to. I'm going to put my arms around that dream that I want. And yes, and today I'm taking my first step. Or yes, and today I'm taking my next step. Or yes, and today I'm going to make that call to that organization that I believe in that's doing a wonderful thing in my community. They think like me. They want the same thing as me. And I'm going to join forces with them. I'm going to take my small little effort and I'm going to put it into their effort and make it stronger. So John says, don't be merely a storyteller of significance. Don't tell the story. Be a story liver. Live the story. Live that importance. Live the intention. Live the thought. Live the heart. Live the thought that is associated with what the heart desires. That's a comforting thought if you think about it. Or do you simply think about, this is the day, I'm just going to relax. I've had a hard week. It might be okay. But what are you going to do with this day? Is it to wrap yourself in a book? Is it to wrap yourself in a blanket and hide the rest of the day? Is it a day to continue to ignore that which is binding you to the past? Each day we have this thought. We have a thought that's buried in the 60,000 thoughts. Let's do something different today. Not necessarily doing an activity different. Like, oh, well, I work out all week, so today I'm going to go to the mall. This is my day off, I'm going to go to the mall. But perhaps if it's weight that you want to reduce and you've been holding back and you keep telling yourself, well, I should eat better or I should exercise. Well, maybe today's the day you get up and walk, or you get out and get a salad, get something that is healthful. Maybe today's the day you're going to have a conversation with your family member that you've been avoiding because you've had so much pain that you can't even enter into the conversation. And maybe there's going to be a need, or you're afraid of crying or showing weakness. Maybe you should need to show transparency. That other person's waiting for you to come and embrace them. Come to them with joy. Come and share the struggle you're going through, that they're going through. Your impact is their impact. Maybe today is the day you simply say, I surrender it all and I start anew. Today is the day you walk past all the negative thoughts in your mind. Today's the day you simply say, I'm not giving them any credence. Today's the day up until now, I was listening to the negative voices. Today's the day I stop. Today's the day I take control of what I think. Today's the day I listen to my heart. I instruct my mind to listen to my heart and do what my heart says. Today's the day I listen to God or my conscience or that intuitive voice or whatever it may be, the grand overall designer, whatever you think is that whisper in the night, that whisper in the day, the kind word from a stranger that says to you, you have a pretty smile. I noticed it from across the room and I just wanted to come over and say hi and acknowledge it. I felt drawn to you. Today's the day you get up and make your thoughts intentional. Today's the day you put it into practice. Today is the day towards that first step to get to the apex, to get to the place that you can now look beyond. Today's the day you step up and you say, wow, I can see so much further now. Today's the day that you can be who you are called to be. Today is the day you're going to make a difference. Today's the day you're going to live intentionally. So think about that today, would you? Would you do me the honor today, figuring out what it is that you could do intentionally that goes towards the thought in your mind that's tied to your heart? What is it? Would you share it? Share it, if not with me, with another. Share it so that you can have a better day. And this is not only, us as individuals, but us as we go into the workplace, us as we go into the things that we do with the others in our place. Sometimes maybe you have to just simply say, today's the day I'm going to let my team know how I feel and ask their forgiveness because I haven't been all that I have been, or I was judging them incorrectly. I was sitting there in judgment instead of saying, hi, my name's Joe, and I want to be your friend. Today's the day we set apart from yesterday so that we can have a better tomorrow. We keep an eye on the future, but we live today. We live in this moment to be a greater person and a greater being. Today's the day we take what we know because it's within what we want to do and we make it real. Be well. Tomorrow we'll continue the series as we go and explore this thick and how leaders, people like you, how you need to live, how you need to grow. My name is Dutkiewicz, and I help people break through. Let me know if I can help you. Be well today.